Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, the best Caribbean football show. I'm one of your hosts, Benton Lawson, a part of the Ball Chat family. Come on, Junior, how you guys doing?
Good, I'm good.
Oh, nice to see you. Love the smile. Come on and smile into the family. Junior, what go on, family?
I don't know if I'm here, if I'm there. I don't know if I'm up, I'm down. I feel so conflicted.
Football family, Junior said he feels a bit confused. We're going to hit the major news in the world of football as we discuss at the top end of the show with ballers and bugs, highlighting the impressive players of the week. And then we'll segue to football recap where we highlight the EPL and Valentino Lazaro impressive scorpion kick goal. Come on, I noticed you tried that the other day in a little friendly match. And also we'll have the women's football report, and then at the back end of the show we'll deal with Yawd ballas, highlighting Jamaican football players. If you're following us on Flow Sports YouTube page, or Ball Chat Facebook page, or Ball Chat YouTube page, you can join the show. And we're also live streaming on Periscope and Twitter, so you can take part in the show. So football family, join in. Come on, let's kick it off, Junior, and come on with our ballers of the week. What do you have as your ball of the week? Come on, watch your football.
So Kevin De Bruyne, he had a good game, except that penalty miss. He should have done better for a player of his quality. So I think he had a very good game. He was instrumental in the midfield for Manchester City. Even though it was a 1-1, I was hoping for a whooping of Liverpool, but you can't get everything where you want, Max Cruz of Union Berlin, he had 2 assists and 1 goal. Plus, he was excellent during his game. Because I have a couple. Just stick with me a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Messi, the GOAT, off the bench. Don't miss last week, so they want to bench Messi.
Yes, you did say they would have to bench Messi.
Okay, and see him come up guns blazing. He had 2 goals. Mkhitaryan, Arsenal's reject, had a hat trick today for Roma. Because him when he sucked, but you know what? Syria. So I mean, like, who knows? But they were a trick. And Watkins from Aston Villa. Watkins from Aston Villa today with 2 goals in his impressive mauling of Arsenal.
Arsenal, the schizophrenic team, Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. We'll get to Arsenal in our EPL roundup in a second. Ollie Watkins, ball of the week for come on, along with Henrik Mkhitaryan, Kevin De Bruyne, and Cruz in the Bundesliga. Right, come on.
Yeah, but I realize they leave off the court. I not understand you.
We'll get to the general. My apologies. The general himself, Lionel Messi, also get ball of the week for an impressive performance coming off the bench. 2 goals and really drive that big side Barcelona forward. Junior, I know you don't like the general Lionel Messi, but I know you have ballers of the week. What do you have as your ball of the week, boss?
My ball of the week has to go to Frank Lampard. He seems to have steadied the ship at Chelsea. Tell you, Chelsea is a very balanced team, and it seems like they're in their purple patch. Hopefully they can continue going. So definitely hats off to Frank Lampard. I got to give it to Demba Ba. Demba Ba seemed to roll back the time, the clocks, the hands of time, and relived what he did to Liverpool and Anfield when Slippy G. We would have never have a Slippy G without a Demba Ba, And we have a Ole out right now because of Demba Ba. So hats off to Demba Ba. And also, I got to give it to Jurgen Klopp. I kill Liverpool. But Liverpool is playing football right now with one wheel punctured, the struts on the other wheel mash up, and they need a new muffler and a radiator. And they are still finding ways to get results. So hats off to Liverpool.
Hats off to Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp Jr.'s ball of the week. In addition to Jurgen Klopp being ball of the week for Junior, Demba Ba getting ball of the week of rolling back the years against Manchester United, scoring with an idiot defense, Manchester United, as he accelerated Ollie out. I don't know why. I guess that's the reason why Junior's giving him ball of the week. Football family, if you join us on Flow Sports or Ball Chat YouTube page or Ball Chat Facebook page, you can send on your Baller of the Week and Bugs of the Week. Baller's been the impressive players of the week and Bugs being an unimpressive player of the week. My Ball of the Week is Valentino Lazaro. I'm highlighting goal scorers this week. Fancy amazing goal by Valentino Lazaro of Mönchengladbach, a scorpion goal. Family, check that out on YouTube. That was an exceptional goal, but Mönchengladbach lost the game. But that's probably goal of the year. And I also want to give a ball of the week to Anna Serini of Roma females team or ladies team, who scored a brilliant goal as Roma ladies drew 2-2. So those are my ballers of the week. I'm highlighting goal scorers this week. Segueing from ballers to bugs of the week. Come on, who do you have as your bugs of the week or bug of the week watching football?
The entire Arsenal squad, I forgive to them. I might have to throw a bug in it, not a footballer, but it's my friend Geraldo Haynes. I mean, Geraldo, you know, time to get beaten. The Arsenal get the whole squad, bug of the week, and Lookman of Fulham.
Wait, we have the Lookman image. Let's put up the Lookman goal. Panenka. There you go. Come on. Go ahead with your bug of the week.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, your team is down a goal. You get a PK. You have the opportunity to tie the game. And you come in. Who are you? You think you're Ronaldo? You think you're Messi? You think you're Suarez? Yo, not forget Pierre. Not forget Pierre this month. Was absolutely ridiculous. So he gets my major bug of the week. I'm not going to give Real Madrid because they lost 4-1 to Valencia because the referee gave a hat trick of PKs. And you know me feel about PKs like that. So, but Lookman of Fulham, oh my God, man, that was terrible.
So Lookman, Ademola Lookman is the bug of the week, maybe bug for the next 2 weeks. Junior man trying Panenka PK and cannot find the goal. Lookman is bug of the week. That was the easiest penalty catch for that goalkeeper for come on, along with who else? Come on, who do you give a bug of the week to?
No, man, the entire squad. I understand that Aston Villa have been playing really good. And can I just say, I don't know what is happening to Ross Barkley. When Chelsea fans had Ross Barkley at Chelsea, he abused this man. Now he seems to have found new life at Aston Villa. I mean, he has been instrumental in getting Aston Villa going. And when you hear Aston Villa is the better team today on the pitch versus Arsenal, then something is really going on. As Sean would say, it's time for Arteta to go. I don't know why. But Aston Villa was the better team today on the pitch versus Arsenal.
So Lookman, bug of the week, along with the schizophrenic Arsenal being the bug of the week. Arsenal lost to Aston Villa as Aston Villa ran them off the pitch. I remember the wise words of Prime Minister last week who said, imagine Arsenal beat Manchester United 1-0 and enjoy themselves. Look at Arsenal this week. Bug of the week. Junior, my brethren, family, who do you have as your bug of the week, boss?
Well, VAR and their inconsistencies. And we're going to talk about it later, but VAR, I just want to plug out the machine. And that's it.
Is it the VAR or is it the rules themselves, Junior?
Rules are one thing, but at some point, the VAR referee at some point have to use common sense. At some point, common sense have to kick in. We understand the rule. We understand it. We'll talk about it later.
VAR is getting the bug of the week. Big up Jeremy Levy. Jeremy says the bug of the week is Maguire. Maguire escaped yesterday. Should have given a penalty away, but offside proceeded. My bug of the week is, there's only one bug this week, is Ademola Lookman. Brethren, come on, I already highlighted his failed penalty, his missed penalty in the Panenka attempt, but he's the bug of the week. Fulham was down 1-0. They needed those 3 points, or needed a point from that game. Fulham will be battling to try to stay up, and you try a Panenka? Bug of the week, look, man. Let's segue from ballers and bugs to try to hit some of the major news this week in the world of football. And let's kick it off with Leeds versus who did Leeds play again? I forgot who Leeds play. But the major thing, Crystal Palace. Leeds lost to Crystal Palace 4-1. But the major takeaway from that game, or the major controversial call, was that Bamford offside kick. Come on, offside call. Come on, can you address this? Has the rules been changed? What's going on? How is this an offside call for against Bamford?
I don't know.
Let me see if I get the image up here. I have the Lookman image up, but go ahead. Come on, let's.
I just don't know. I really don't know what to say about the offside call. There's no explanation. I can't tell you why. To us, they're like, the thing is this: the rules say, the rules specifically say that any part of the body that can be used to score a goal is offside. That arm cannot score a goal because then it's going to be a handball. So it offside. I mean, he was pointing, right? He was pointing to say where more on the ball to go. I understand. But when you have to go and draw a line, because that's what they're doing, inches. I think, it's just ridiculous. We are always saying this, right? If you're not 100% sure of the call, you have to give the call to the attacking team. It's just common sense. If you have to draw a ruler and spend 4 or 5 minutes looking at one call, come on, man. This to me is not an offside, and he was wrong.
All right, Junior, touch this one. The rule has been updated to now the upper part of the arm. So last year, this would not be offside. This would have been offside. But this year, or last year, the rule has changed. So now the upper part of the arm is considered part of the offside rule. Junior, you want to talk us through, give us your thoughts on this?
For the record, first of all, come on, you are incorrect. The greatest midfielder ever, Diego Maradona, will correct you and say a hand can score a goal. All right? So that is wrong. But for that joke aside, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Now, I don't have any explanation for it. It's just dumb. And I understand we're living in an information age and social media age. And we have to be fair to the referees. Now, if I show you that image and I ask you, is that offsides? The question would be, am I asking a Crystal Palace fan or am I asking a Leeds fan? A Crystal Palace fan will tell you that is offside. Yeah. A Leeds fan will tell you that is petty, that is not offside.
Yeah.
That is affecting the referee's decision, in my opinion, because a referee that is having the ruler drawn and saying, I have 50% of the fans that are watching the game, at least 50% are going to kill me on social media for calling offsides.
Yeah.
And I think that is affecting the game. And for me, I am an advocate for VAR if used properly. In my opinion, we should not be seeing these VAR. We shouldn't even be seeing the grids coming on the replay. We should not be seeing that. It should just be VAR rule is offside. We keep it moving.
Okay.
It's closed.
Because that fuel add more.
In
go ahead,
MLS, what they're doing is in MLS, what they're doing is they're talking, right? So I guess I put the mic on the referee. So when he's talking to the assistant up in the booth, the fans are hearing. So I was told that this is something that they're looking into. So not only you're going to see, you're going to hear it too, and hear how them come to them decision. Because to be honest, I would love to hear them say, this is why I came to this decision. I understand, but the armpit, so when you have to go down to the little things that talk about the armpit, then you're getting a bit too technical and you're taking away from the game. Yes, before VAR, we would have been aggrieved with a boss, say, referee, you're blind or whatever, but this is just taking away from the game. You can't, this is not offside. No, and then they have the audacity to show us from this angle. Like we're idiots.
Well, that's the angle that they used to make the offside call.
Stupid, man, stupid.
You know who's the happiest guy in the world right now? Fipo Inzaghi said, "Thank your father, I'm not playing in this era."
Because it would have been offside.
I would have been offside 99.99999% time goal.
All right, continue on for some other major news this week. There were other controversial calls. A couple of penalty kicks were given. One in that Wolves game, and versus Leicester City. Come on, did you think that was a penalty? You agreed with the referee's decision there?
No, with the new rules and the laws of the game, it is a penalty. We want common sense to really reign, and they need to go back and they need to revisit this rule. They have to think about, before, remember we talked about they took away the referee's ability to decipher if it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
We probably need to go back to that, because unless you're a footballer, right, you won't understand that when you're running, jumping, moving, shaking, your hand cannot be, what is a natural position? How can you really run beside someone, jump at the same time with your hands down or behind your back? It is virtually impossible. So you have to look at the distance, because before this stupid rule, where any handball is in the box of the PK, they talked about the distance the ball travels, right? The position that the person is in and the intent. We don't have that now. And I just think that those two calls that were made today, the ball was coming fast, and you could see where the player was actually trying to move out of the way. So it was not intentional. The distance was too short. So I don't think they were really intentional handballs. And, unfortunately, in the Leicester game, Watford was not, on the receiving end of good karma. But
Yeah.
Manchester City, that in that game, then it was kind of like null and void. But I just think that they need to revise this rule.
Yeah, the handball rule is very controversial in that Wolves versus Leicester City game. It was definitely a controversial call. And then in that Man City versus Liverpool, the feature matchup, Junior, your thoughts on that penalty kick that Gomez that eventually was missed by Kevin De Bruyne?
What about it? It's a handball, right? I mean, I can't. It is a penalty. There's no arguing that. The simple fix for me, though, is make every handball in the box an indirect free kick. I think that's what it was back in the day, where if memory serves me correctly, and come on, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have an unintentional handball in the box, it was given as an indirect free kick back in the day. Am I wrong for thinking that? I remember playing football and we have indirect free kicks in the box from a foul play, but it was never given as a penalty. That, to me, we just need to go back to that and just say, every handball in the box is an indirect free kick. Now, if you want to be like Luis Suarez from the World Cup and be the second goalkeeper and stop the ball from going in the goal, it's still an indirect free kick, but to get a red card.
Yeah, but all right. Yeah, we understand.
Yes, but then so you will take away a penalty
kick from someone who aggressively deny a goal scoring opportunity. Yeah.
But that's the thing too, Junior. That you're going back now to the referee's discretion, because then now you're gonna have two things. A PK is a direct free kick in the box, right? And then you're talking about handball or whatever. What if a player intentionally? So we figure it out. In that indirect for who never do it intentionally, and direct for who do it intentionally. But then again, you have to come back to the decision. I just think that with this rule, it takes away the referee's ability to use common sense. You have to use common sense. You use VAR, yes, and go back and look and say, okay, was it intentional or not? But you can't just say any handball in the. It's just not. It don't work that way, because we talked about this in the beginning now, that a player is going to intentionally kick a ball on a player's hand in the box to get that call. And it's just not fair.
So make it an indirect free kick, and then me put all 11 players in the box and start the wall, and then you can't get a goal. And then we'll move on. If a team is going to depend on a handball in the box to get a penalty to win a game, you have no business winning that game, first of all. So it is not a big game changer.
I disagree. It's not depend. I want to know that if my team out there bust them butts and a player like Suarez come and bat the ball in I want him to be directly punished.
Yes.
That's a red card.
Yeah, but then you need to get a goal scoring opportunity. This is a penalty.
A goal scoring opportunity is
and indirect, it is not a goal scoring opportunity.
So kicking a penalty is a goal scoring. Kevin De Bruyne.
Of course, it's you and the goalie and the blacker, the white time eye and him eyeball versus the indirect with a 50,000 million.
Yeah, you put a gang man. Yes.
Junior, the best thing is this: they need to go back and give the referee the opportunity to be able to decipher the distance, the intent, and all them something. You can't. They make football feel so robotic when you take away the human element from football. It's not there anymore. I said when you have to draw and talk about armpits, it's just mind-boggling. And then on top of that, they do all of this. And they still come back with the incorrect conclusion. How many times have we watched and obviously referee say, that's gonna be a penalty. And him go over there, look on the screen, come back and hear something come. And you're like, referee, are you blind? So it's confusion. And they've said it before. I don't agree with Carragher on anything that he says. I don't like him. But Carragher says, when IFAB, you don't have a footballer over there making decisions. It's people who, like us, will sit behind and chat football, not a footballer. And you need a footballer on the board like that to speak about what goes on the pitch.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Junior.
One soapbox thing for me right now. This is my major soapbox issue in English Premier League. Have we ever seen a referee go to the sideline and watch the replay after the VAR ref say need to watch this and don't change the call?
So what was the original call today in the Kevin De Bruyne game, right? It was first and no. Was it a penalty in the Man City versus Liverpool game, and then he went over and watched, right?
Right, but he changed his call. I cannot remember an instance when the referee is told by the VAR official, you might need to look at this, and him go there and say, brother, you don't know what you're talking about. My call was right.
Oh, okay.
It's not in EPL, but MLS. I have seen it.
Yeah, all right. All right, fine.
But I have seen the referee get a call or whatever and go over there and look and him switch. So, but remember, in the beginning, when VAR came into the EPL, remember, they told us, they specifically said, VAR is just to assist the referee. The referee is in total control. That's what they said. So, I don't know what changed. I don't know when the game gets so robotic, but it's just ridiculous. And the calls that were made today was just, it just mechanic. So it was void of thought and void of any kind of imagination. So they just to fix it.
And it's just most of these controversial calls that we see with as it relates to VAR, it's pretty much predominantly it's been in the EPL. So, I mean, other leagues seem to have figured out how to use this system efficiently and somewhat effectively.
Not today, because I mean that referee that gave the hat trick of PK's.
Well, it's against Real Madrid, so we'll talk about that. You know how many free penalties did Real Madrid get against other people? Come on. All right, moving to games on the field in the EPL. The big matchup was Manchester City versus Liverpool. Big up Jason Frame. Jason Frame says bugs of the week. Arsenal, schizophrenic Arsenal, Jason. We'll get to them in a second. And also ball of the week for Jason is Watkins making waves coming from a lower league. Yes, Ollie Watkins doing quite well. Let's get to the Man City versus Liverpool game. Ended in a tie. First half was wonderful. Second half was, I could rather do something else. But your thoughts on the game? Who came out the better of this game, of this matchup? Man City, knowing that they have so many injuries?
Man City, because people still have Liverpool as the favorite. Even with VVD being out, we still have Liverpool as the favorite. We still have, and as big as Manchester City's budget is, and as big a coach as Pep is, we still have Pep as the underdog when it comes to him and Liverpool and wishy-washy. We still think that Manchester City don't have a complete team versus we see where Liverpool them bring in Jota and it's like them become this scoring team, this attacking team, as Junior Love called it, every metal football them player. So today was disappointing, and I think Manchester City would be the happier of the two teams to get the 1 point.
Yeah, Junior, your thoughts on this? Man City, come on, Man City is the happy of the two, got a point. Your thoughts on this? Liverpool did not take the lead at the break, sitting at the top of the table because of this tie today with City.
I'm not trying to play coy or anything, but who came out the best after this game is the competitors for the Premier League title, because
the other teams.
Yeah, the other teams. Tottenham should feel very good about their chances of winning the Premier League, because what I saw today is a team, because of injuries, they have no midfield. I've been barking on this. Henderson has no partnership beside him. Them try Gigi. Them try. Keita can't stay on the field. We don't know what to Thiago. So
Thiago is injured. He suffered a knee injury from the Everton game, and he's still recovering. Of course, he was out for COVID. That tackle I think it was Dinia, or whosoever tackled him, or Richarlison. That red carded tackle. He's out with a knee injury.
No, but what I mean is he cannot stay fit. Yes, fine, it's a legit injury. But boy, what a man saw.
Yes.
Minamanu, or whatever I want him, this is a 2-year project and he cannot play consistently. And you bring in Diogo Jota. Jota is going to be figured out, It's just a matter of time. Jota is playing in the middle in a 4-3-3. You are going to be figured out. So
Jota is not playing in the middle, Junior. Today, Jota played on the right. Are we watching two different ball games? Jota was on the right, Mane on the left. You have Firmino and Mohamed Salah playing in the middle. One of them would occasionally drop deep, interchangeably to pick up the role, and with Henderson and with Genie covering at the base. I mean,
so you're telling me Liverpool is not playing 4-3-3 anymore?
Today sometimes they look like they were running 4-2-2 actually. So he seems to have made the system a little bit more flexible. He's not married. That's one of the things that I noticed, that it seems to be different with Klopp than Pep. Klopp is very rigid in the system that Pep is very rigid and is married to his 4-3-3 system. Klopp seems to be able to adjust because of the talent of the players that he have available to him. I think it was more a telling point that he refused to even go with Keita in the midfield and decided to tell Mohamed Salah or Bobby Firmino to drop into that midfield and help out. So I thought, that Jota was on the right today, and he did a lot of things coming back.
Okay. All right. I okay, cool.
Yeah, but
I just want it from Jota.
No, but I bet that we'll see. Well, it's two different perspectives, and don't worry. A game is coming, because Man City couldn't expose Liverpool midfield to them. But there were times when it almost looked like nobody wanted to play defense for either team. There were times when Liverpool just looked spread out. There were times when Man City just looked disinterested and the other team couldn't capitalize. That's why the balance. So that's why I said Tottenham should feel the best out of everybody as right now, because they have at least have an identity. I don't see an identity from City. I don't see an identity from Liverpool. What I see is an energy, a coach pushing his side to play and find a result. That's why I gave Klopp ball of the week, and I'm not trying to be funny. It is what it is. I don't think Liverpool is what we think they are, but the coach is proving himself.
Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. But quickly, as it relates to Man City, Rodri, I mean, can he manage at the base of this midfield? He's too slow. And you've spoken about this quite Quite a few times. I mean, do you think Man City can really put together a championship sort of team with him at the base of that midfield?
Absolutely not. I mean, like, he just, today was like, what is Klopp thinking?
Yeah.
And I always talk about Kyle Walker as a liability. He's a liability for Manchester City. In while, in football done, I don't know what else about Kyle Walker. Oh, if you see, and that's what we talk about, the English players them get away with murder because first of all he's overpriced. Him not ready. So as I said before, Manchester City is the underdog. Their team is all over the place and they don't have a strong core. And today Roger just looked like him just come from the championship. Him just never ready for me.
Yeah, he seems to be after a couple of years. Hitting some other news in the EPL. Tottenham sitting second. We know Leicester City is at the summit as we head into international break. We don't expect this to last with Leicester City, right, family?
Absolutely not.
So does this Leicester City team end in the Champions League spot this year?
No. Not this unless they get reinforcements. Because when you see them bring on, no disrespect to West Morgan, because I might do it. But when you see them bring on West Morgan, the game, it's like, come on, no. West Morgan is the best you guys have as a, no. I hate them come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And come on, are you taking Spurs seriously here? Junius highlighted Spurs earlier. Are you taking Spurs seriously? They're sitting in second. They found a way to win.
Early warm. Junior talk about Tottenham have an identity. What is the identity? Score 2 goals on some idiot side. I mean, like, what is it? It's early warm. I'm not impressed by Tottenham. They could have bring in 2 more BL. Just give him 3 weeks. Mother injured. But I do not think Tottenham is going to stay in top 5. Not impressed.
Junior, you are impressed with Tottenham. What is about Tottenham that you're impressed with? They're sitting second as we head into the international break. Quickly.
I know we've been affected by a pandemic. I know the year feels different. But come on, it is not early warm. We are 1 month away, or 2 months away from the transfer market in January. If a team is who they are, if a team is sitting in the mid-table right now, they are a mid-table team. If a team is in the top 3, they are a top 3 team, unless something catastrophic happens. So Tottenham have just as much of a chance of winning the Premier League this year as do Liverpool, as do Manchester City, in my opinion. And trust me,
I am not even surprised that you can't do math. You're a Manchester United fan. You can't do math. 8 games in. And you got to talk about that early one. Jonah, there are 30 games left. 30 games left. This is early one, Papa. Early one.
Come on. After 8 games, you don't know who your team is?
Absolutely not.
That's crazy.
You just said there's no identity with Liverpool. That don't mean that they can't turn it around come January.
Come on. Virgil van Dijk is not coming off the hospital bed in January.
He's one person. Junior, I just think, I look at it. For example, let us switch to my team a little bit, right? Look on Pulisic, when I talk about, Pulisic being injured is going to really affect our team like that. Them shuffle in Ben Chilwell, and he has, but look where Chelsea is. Chelsea is in top 5, and Chilwell has been playing really well. So does that mean? Hold on. Does that mean that Chilwell will play the other 30 games at this level? Does that mean Chelsea is going to continue playing at this level? No, it's early warm. You can't look at Tottenham because they're sitting in second place and say Tottenham is on a tier. Them is a good. Yo, there's more time than I like talking.
Come on. Listen.
Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
Listen, Liverpool was not Liverpool until they signed Virgil van Dijk. So you're not going to take Virgil van Dijk out of Liverpool and expect me to believe they are the same Liverpool. That's a big difference. Pulisic is an American fanboy. We're not going to quote American journalist and say, oh, Chelsea's good. No, Chelsea does not care about Pulisic. Chelsea don't need Pulisic right now. Pulisic, get used to the bench because Ziyech is going to play until he's tired and then you can play it in the Carling Cup or whatever call it. After 8 games, we know who the teams are. Now you have some teams that are being affected by injury. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool is sitting pretty right now, and they are missing a midfield general. When that midfield general returns, they are going to play better. In other words, games against Man City will not finish 1-1 because they're bringing in a midfield general.
If he does. If he does.
If he does. Tottenham, right now, they finally found somewhere that Ndombele can play and be comfortable. That is huge. Them finally find a place where Son can be himself. That is huge. Bale looks happy. That is huge. You have Dele Alli sitting on the bench, and if he wants to play, he's going to be hungry, and he's going to come back and play off the bench. Lucas, their Champions League hero, who saved them in the semifinals, have to play off the bench. They are a better team. It is what it is.
Junior, we're still talking about Spurs. Let's see. Big up Stel. Stel says Walker's always relied on his pace to get him out of trouble. You know what? Let's head to the chat. Over to the chat for a second. Stel says Walker has always relied on his pace to get him out of trouble defensively. Aside from the West Ham game, Spurs have been solid defensively. Big up yourself, Stel. Big up yourself, Desroy. Desroy says, stop it. I guess he's talking about Tottenham. As it relates to Spurs defensively, Spurs is having a goal difference of 10, so they've conceded 9 goals. But a few weeks ago, we were thinking that Spurs was not very good defensively. So let's see. Touching some other major news, Chelsea. And before we get to Manchester United, Chelsea seems to be playing some good football. Come on, I mean, you guys have fixed your defensive issues for the time being. But surely you don't expect Thiago Silva, old Thiago Silva, like you said, as it relates to Ben Chilwell, to maintain this high level.
If managed properly.
But not Ben Chilwell.
If managed
36
properly,
years old Thiago Silva.
If managed properly, Thiago Silva will be Thiago Gold. If managed, and remember, I've always said my biggest problem with Frank Lampard is his man management skill. If managed properly, and if he rotates the team very, okay enough, I mean, yeah, we can continue. We have the firepower. We still have Giroud thrown up on the bench, and we know he's a game changer. So I do think that Frank Lampard is coming into his own. I guess the trip to Russia the other day and him to the Russian kind of scare him, stiff. But I do see where Chelsea is actually playing better. Our backline is good. I mean, we're switching the ball. We're pacing the midfield. The wingers are working, and we're scoring goals.
Yeah, they're coming into form. Junior, as we try to wrap up in the EPL, but we cannot leave without touching Manchester United. Your team won against Everton, and Everton. We'll dissect or discuss both teams quickly. Your team, Manchester United, won against Everton, lost in Champions League. Are you still satisfied? Are you still on this thing about getting Ole out? I mean, they got a response against Everton.
I'm not an Ole outer as yet.
Okay.
But the response against Everton is fool's gold. And I don't believe in it. And anybody who try to convince me otherwise, prepare to get slapped. You don't know football. That Manchester United performance against Everton was rubbish. It's garbage. They cannot string. If Everton finally organize themselves behind the ball, Man U could not string 10 passes together.
So wait, but Junior, this is Everton being coached by Carlo Ancelotti, one of the legends in the coaching business. They had the return of Mason Holgate, and yes, he's coming back pretty rusty, made some errors. But what are we talking about organization? This is Carlo Ancelotti, hot fire Everton. Are you belittling that win against Everton?
Thank you for giving me the layup to prove my point.
Take 1 minute, Junior.
I only need 10 seconds. Look at the goal that Bruno Fernandes scored. The 2 goals. Because the second goal, Rashford didn't head the ball. Bruno scored the They were mirror images of each other. Big up Desiree. Desiree is watching right now. He's an international defender. And he is going to agree with me when I say this. It's the dumbest thing when you have 2 center halves and all it takes is 1 ball to the wing and your center half spread like the Red Sea and make 1 man run down the middle. It happened the first time. And if I am a defender and my central defender make that mistake after the goal when the ball is going to the center half, I'm looking at it and say, brother, are you so stupid? If I'm running to the right, you should be covering the middle. And then 10 minutes later, you do the same thing again? And you want me to accept that them organized? Man, stop the foolishness, man.
Man, the blood pressure.
Oh, the blood pressure, good. But it's the same thing could have happened to Manchester United. And that's what pissed me off. Because...
the language, Junior, language. Those are the views. It's a family show, Junior.
That's what aggravated me, is that I am seeing Everton making stupid defensive mistakes. And I am seeing Manchester United making stupid defensive mistakes. And I am looking in the midweek for a Liverpool good defender that is not playing anymore. He's playing in Turkey. And I see that defender shut down Manchester United attack. I see Marshall try to make a dummy, and that defender stopped the ball. And then 10 minutes later, Denver Bar made the same exact dummy, and our dummy bite the dummy and gave up a goal. And you want me to sit down and think that Manchester United turn it around? Man, stop it, man.
Dummy.
No, so but Junior, I mean, they needed a response. All I'm trying to say, and we can disagree on that. They needed a response. Maybe I'm just being a little bit facetious here, but they disagree. They needed a response after the beating that they got in the Champions League, and he got a response. So I mean, it's all you can do, right? Come on, let's touch Everton real quickly. They've lost their last 3 games. Carlo seems to struggling with this Everton outfit. What's going on? 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, things were fine.
It was early. It's a matter of early one. Everton was an early pace setter. I mean, it has an even out. You know, they won't get relegated, but they're going to be top 15. It's going to even out. But still, I mean, to be fair though, as I said, we have 30 games, and this is the EPL. Anything can happen. You know, Carlo is a very good coach, and he knows how to get the best out of players. So I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of turns things around.
And that former Liverpool player that Junior was referencing to is Martin Skrtel. Yeah. I didn't even realize he was still playing football. It's that the retirement team beat Manchester United in the middle of the week. Let's segue. Any other news on the EPL? I mean, any other outstanding performance? Aston Villa, quickly. Your thoughts on Aston Villa? They're looking pretty good, but...
Yeah, but it was only Arsenal, so, I mean...
And Arsenal, last week, they defeated Manchester United. I'm going to call them the schizophrenic Arsenal. This week, they got the brakes beat off of them. What did Arteta did wrong today in the game against Villa? Junior, and
his lineup was okay. I just think you can put the players on the pitch, but you can't put passion out there on the pitch. There's so many. So the Lacazette missed. He missed some things where a striker of his caliber should have missed. You can't blame that on Arteta. We complain and say him not play this person, not play whatever. The players that get the money to play were on the pitch today. You can't blame him. You really can't. In the first half was okay, right? It was watchable, and then you were like, okay, when them go in for them halftime talk, them all come back out fired up. It was a lazy, lackluster performance by Arsenal. You can't blame Arteta for that because the players are out there with the quality. It was just one word to sum up Arsenal today: shambolic.
The buck stop with Arteta. He's the coach.
Yeah, but Benton, let us be fair though. If we on the sidelines of complaints, why you don't play this player? Why you don't play player of quality? And he puts the players on the pitch with the quality, and he say, "You do this, your job is this, and whatever." And they go there and don't get the results. How are we blaming the manager?
Because he put idiot on the field.
Yeah.
What
Like
Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
what Arsenal is suffering from is the belief that they had arrived after beating Manchester United last week and
Okay.
win and the midweek game. They thought they had arrived and thought they can just show up and beat a side that they should beat. And they
Okay.
just got brought back to reality. That's all.
But how could they be?
Bunch of sour grapes? What about your sour grapes? Them can't make wine. What a bunch of sour grapes.
Yeah, but big up Desiree says Everton is top 6 this season. Stell is a Manchester United fan. Stell, do you think that Ole should remain or you guys should get rid of him or bring in Pochettino? I don't know. All right. And also we want to big up Harry Kane. Harry Kane scored his 150th goal for Spurs. So far it's been a stellar career. It looks like he has more to go. Right, family?
Yeah, and also I think they're saying that Trent Arnold is also injured and he might not make the England squad.
Yeah, he picked up a knock. He picked up seems to be some sort of muscle strain, so he might wish he probably needs the rest. These players
Raheem, man. What did I say it? You want me to say it or do I say it?
Go ahead, Junior.
Raheem.
What about Raheem?
Trent versus Raheem and Trent get injured? Okay.
Okay. Okay, Junior. All right, moving away from the EPL, let's touch some other big games that took place this weekend. Dortmund versus Bayern Munich, and I don't know if we want to call this a big game anymore because it's the usual procession. Dortmund lost. Come on, when is Lucien Favre gonna get fired?
It wasn't. You know what? It was. We're not gonna beat Dortmund badly. It was an exciting game. But Bayern is just too good. Lewandowski is still too good. So I'm not gonna beat Dortmund. If it was 3-0, but it was a 3-2 scoreline. So I actually enjoyed the game. So Dortmund just need to pick it up and just come second.
And quickly before we go to the women's football report, Junior, Leon Bailey and Leon Bailey and Leverkusen defeated Mönchengladbach. Big bad Mönchengladbach that defeated Shakhtar 6-0 in Champions League. Your thoughts on Leverkusen? They seem to be having a nice little run. Alario scored 6 goals in the last 2 or 3 games for Leverkusen. Your thoughts on how Leon Bailey played and what is going on with Peter Bosz and that Leverkusen outfit?
Leon is just proving that all he needs is opportunity. Go ahead, come on.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I would say he is showing a strong mentality. I mean, he wasn't playing. He was being used as a sub, and he got the opportunity. And he just made the best of the opportunity. I mean, he's playing very well. In Europa, I think he won man of the match.
Yes, he did.
But he missed out on player, I think, of the week, but he's in the team of the week. And that's saying a lot for someone who was riding the bench and wasn't getting consistent minutes. It really says a lot to his work ethic. So he was very good in the game, and he was good during Europa as well.
Yeah, and he actually scored today in the game against Mönchengladbach. So Leon Bailey is having a good run. Leverkusen is doing quite well, winning consecutive games on the trot. Very good performance by Leverkusen. Stepping in as we head into the international break.
We forgot to congrat Harry Kane on reaching 150 Premier League goals.
Yes. I thought I just mentioned that, but sorry if I didn't, family. And let's step over to La Liga quickly as we head to the women's football report. Lionel Messi was on the bench. Strange sight, but he came off the bench and was instrumental in a Barcelona win. Did Ronald Koeman figure out that Barcelona? I know it's only one game. Griezmann finally scored. Ousmane Dembele scored a sensational goal. Did Ronald Koeman figure this thing out? Come on, first.
Figure it out by what? You can't put Messi on the bench every game. Figure out what?
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
the
I
team
mean,
did play. Pedri, the team did play quite well with Messi.
that's I'm not going to judge him off one game. We still think Coleman him not have a handle on the team. So let's see the next couple of games will tell us if he has gotten a handle on it.
But as a Barcelona fan, you should be quite excited to see Ousmane Dembele seems to have finally stepped forward, right?
For how long? I mean, him coming like a Arsenal, him supposed to go. Every minute him injured. I just don't know what to get with Dembele. He has great potential, but he's not consistent. So, when he has a great game this time, the next game he just looks as if he wants to be anywhere but on the pitch. So I'm gonna taper my excitement and just wait to win at the middle of the season, and we're leading the table by at least 15 points.
Yeah, I wouldn't get carried away about leading the table. Barcelona sitting down in regards to leading the table. Junior, in the Liga, Real Sociedad is sitting at the summit at the international break. We know that won't last, but another shock result that took place this weekend. Real Madrid had the brakes beat off of them by the pickup side, Valencia. Valencia has been shipping out players left, right, and center. Your thoughts on this loss, Junior?
Yo, it's just the effects of football with no fans and playing Champions League midweek, coming back to play La Liga, then go play Champions League midweek, come back and play La Liga. This is probably the roughest stretch Real Madrid players have ever had professionally, because they're playing games so quickly against teams that want to beat them, even though it's a 3-team league. I think that's a part of it. But hey, hats off to Valencia, the man them come out and beat the brakes off of Real Madrid. That we can't blame the referee. We can't say it's a cocktail of penalties and blah blah blah. But yo, your 11 lost to my 11, so shut up.
Calm down. Junior, as we step over to Syria, as we head into the international break before we get to the women's report, I know Kadisha's waiting for the women's football report. Quickly, you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fanboy. Big up Desroy. Desroy said Messi is holding down the youth. Go easy, Desroy. You're a Cristiano Ronaldo fanboy, Junior. We know that you have his jersey at home and his pajamas and everything. He hobbled off the field in that tie against Lazio. Your thoughts on the impact of losing potentially Cristiano Ronaldo on this Juventus outfit? Milan, AC Milan. Rossoneri is sitting at the top of the international break in Serie A.
First of all, I'm a Ronaldo AC. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a AC. So yeah, and Ronaldo said he sprained his ankle. He twisted his ankle. So hopefully he's not going to be on the sideline for long. But Juventus is eerily similar to Real Madrid. You don't know which Juventus. We know Ronaldo will show up, but we don't know which Juventus will show up. So big up to AC Milan. Big up to Zlatan. Zlatan, the lion himself. If he can stay healthy, and if they don't care about the Europa League, which I feel Zlatan is eventually going to get up and say, look, Lions don't play in a Europa second league. I'm resting for the league. AC can take the Italian Cup. Don't sleep on them now.
Okay, Junior. Okay, step away from the glue. AC Milan drew 2-2 with Verona. They scored at the death, scored to secure that point. But quickly, come on, before we head to the women's football report and before we step away from Serie A, your assessment of Andrea Pirlo's coaching. Is it too early to kind of make some broad standing review or assessment of his coaching? I mean, this is a guy who had no coaching experience prior to getting this big job at Juventus.
Hey, this is what you call a hookup. This is what you call having friends in high places. I mean, I think it's still young. The season is still young. I just think everything will fall in place come January. He has the players. Ronaldo was out. He got COVID. So I don't know. I just think Pirlo is a good player. Not, and we always say good players don't necessarily make good coaches, and maybe this the pants too big for Pearl, but I still think it's early. It's early yet.
Early
Early
yet,
one.
early yet. All right, let's segue from football roundup to the women's football report. Khadij officially joining us for the women's football report. Khadij, how you doing, family? Anna Serena scored a fantastic goal for AC Roma ladies today. How you doing? Wagwan.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. There are some good goals this weekend. So I'm glad to be back this weekend and to give you guys what's been going on. I have some bad news for Arsenal fans, but let me start from the top and then get to it.
It's
So
always
after
bad
2 weeks,
news for Arsenal, men's and women's.
uh, sometimes, So we are back to club action this weekend after 2 weeks away with the international break. Unfortunately, there was no action in the French league this weekend. Atletico Madrid currently sits at the top of the table in the Spanish league with 14 points, which is two more than Barca, but they have played two games more. In midweek, Chelsea were victorious over Tottenham, beating them 2-0. Chelsea always the pride of London in the League Cup action. And speaking of Tottenham, Alex Morgan finally made her debut for Spurs 6 months after giving birth. So that's that. We have to give her a round of applause for that. She was subbed on late in a 1-1 draw versus Reading FC. Here's the bit of bad news I have for the Arsenal fans. Manchester United beat Arsenal 1-0 today. And that is an upset. Arsenal is one of the top teams in the league, and they've been blowing out teams left, right, and center. And so with this win, Manchester United now sit atop of the league, taking the top spot from the Gunners, and Chelsea beat Everton 4-0 today. Let me just say though, this 4-0 scoreline is not indicative of how that game was played. Everton really gave Chelsea a run for their money. And for Chelsea to come out 4-0, I did not expect that. I was happy with a 1-0 win. So Chelsea are now 3 points behind the leaders with a game in hand. Manchester City were ran out 8-1 victors over Bristol City, but there was some controversy there as a player from the Bristol City camp started to show COVID symptoms overnight. And seeing as how she shares houses with a few teammates from Bristol, they asked for the game to be postponed, but the FA told them no. And as such, they had to field a few academy players. And so this scoreline, not impressed with this scoreline based on what happened in that. So, yeah, Manchester City won. Hoo-hoo for that. And the FA is facing some criticism as well, as they have classified boys' academy teams as elite, but not the girls. And as such, the girls' academy players will not be allowed to train while England goes back into lockdown. And so this has been causing quite a stir amongst the pundits, both in the men's and the women's games. As they say, it doesn't seem to be fair. Next week, though, this is a match to look forward to. It's the Manchester Derby this next week, Saturday. And unfortunately, I won't be on to give you the update after, but I will tweet you the results. I will do that. And as a reminder to the folks listening, if you are interested in watching any of the English games, you can catch the games on the FA Player. You just need to download it from your and sign up, and you're good to go. For those of you in the US, NBC SN are actually showing a few of the games, because of the American interest there. So just check your listings and you'll be good to go. And always you can tweet me to find out anything you need to know at DEESHI. And that's it for this week, guys.
All right, Manchester United ladies at the top at the top of the women's Super League. Kadish, before you leave, is the Manchester United ladies a brand new team? How is it that they lead in that league?
Yeah, that's the thing. This is their third year in existence and their second year in the top tier.
In the top tier, yeah.
Right. So what they've done so far is really good. And even the Chelsea coach has said that she expects Manchester United to be challenging for the title. So as I've said, over the last few years, because I really started paying attention to this league in about 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that over the 4 years, this league has become so competitive that you can't look at a game and say, yes, this team will definitely win. You
Okay.
have to watch it to see it. It
Okay.
has become that competitive.
Okay. All right. Thanks. And so big up to Christian Press and that Manchester United's women's football team as they sit at top of the Women's Super League as we head into the international break or head into the game, the Manchester Derby next week. The women's league does not take the international break this week. All right, Yawd Ballas report. Come on, let's highlight Yawd Ballas, Jamaican players playing their trade overseas. Shamar Nicholson didn't look that great. Well, go on.
Yeah, Shamar, he didn't look that hot, you know. So hopefully this international break will, give him a little reset, because he's in the squad, for the 2 games in Saudi Arabia. So hopefully he'll come back refreshed and banging some goals there and ready to go. Omar Olness and Darlington FC beat Joel Grant of Swindon 2-1 in the FA Cup. So he advances to the next round. Jadine White and Tariq McGee, they have been called up to replace Alvas Powell, who was in close contact with someone who had COVID. I think in all the tests that they've done, the local player Dennis Taylor was found to be positive, so he withdrew. And Adrian Mariappa withdrew from the squad. He didn't have a club. JFF, he never have a club. So he withdrew because he wants to go and focus on getting a club. As we said, Liam Bailey scored today in the 4-3 victory. He's on fire. He has 3 goals in 2 games and 4 assists so far. So he's doing very well. Hemar Taxi Lawrence is looking better and better every day. He played 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Anderlecht and again today. So he's, I am very happy for Taxi because he had some issues overall. If I told you to watch the Waterhouse game versus the team from Haiti, I apologize. My bad. I shouldn't have. Listen, Waterhouse. Just listen to this. Your goalie and central defender fat. It was. I'm.
They were on international break. They haven't played a ball on an international break. They haven't played ball in a long time. Come on.
Yes, but the other players on the team now looks up, and then they were winded. Them did bus and 80 run them ragged. I mean, it was terrible football because if you're winded, you're out of shape. You are not going to play good football, and it was not good. Big up to Waterhouse, Kendroy Howell, because he came on and he scored the lone goal in the 3-1 trashing. I hope Waterhouse looks better in the return leg because that was just terrible. We never liked it.
I thought I thought that's a single elimination game because of the COVID climate.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, let me double check because I thought it was okay. All right. Well, even better for Waterhouse because I think the Haiti team would have beat them. Businessman Christopher Williams has been appointed the chairman of the newly formed Professional Football Jamaica Limited. Like it never have enough letters before. So it's the PFJL. That is the body that will run the Premier League starting this season. So a little bit about Mr. Williams. He is the CEO and co-founder of Proven Wealth. Thank you, by little stocks and whatever, and I must look at dividends, but thank you very much. He is one of the island's top wealth management companies. That's proven. So the PFJL has replaced the PLCA that nobody seemed to like. And according to this move, because I guess connections, money movements, now the Premier League will be managed by a capable team of professionals who want to develop the league and make it, a nice, refreshing place so our players can play. With this move, they're actively trying to make arrangements in the league by getting TV production, TV rights, league and club sponsorship, and special venue arrangements. So, I look forward to seeing the improvements done by the PFJL when the season restarts. So, I think that's a good thing for Jamaica.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, that's a good move. And yes, Waterhouse FC is eliminated from the CONCACAF League in that 3-1 loss to Archaic. Archaic is a French. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. As we wrap up our show, try to head home just before we go. Last weekend we were supposed to give a salute to Diego Armando Maradona. Let's get the birthday king up here. Well, not that. Let's get the it was his birthday recently, and let me get, he's in the hospital, underwent surgery. Let's get this Bamford logo off. There you go. He turned 60. His 60th birthday was October 30th. Diego Armando Maradona. He just went through surgery. He's recovering. But just to give an acknowledgement, we did it for Pele. What's your thoughts on celebration of Diego Armando Maradona? Quickly, Junior, come on.
The greatest midfielder ever. Greatest midfielder ever. The greatest single-handed footballer that can single-handedly take a team and make them competitive. The greatest, Diego Maradona.
Yeah, and this is from the 1986 World Cup. Come on, I know you're an Argentinian fan, but surely you love Messi, but surely Maradona has got to be the greatest for you.
Hey, Junior, did you say single-handedly? Was that a pun?
No, well.
I know, people think I love Argentina because of Messi, which is in part true, but it's also because of Maradona. And, one of my favorite videos, and I play it now and then, is his warm-up. It's ridiculous. He's dancing, having a good time, and you can just see the joy, that he exudes when he's on the pitch and even before. Sometimes when I see that he's going through his personal issues, it's kind of heartbreaking. But, he's one of the reasons why I love football. He's very smart on and off the ball. So, props to him.
Yeah, one of the players that made us love the game. He did wonderful, exceptional with Argentina. That's the 86 World Cup. And he also took Napoli from the bottom to the top in Serie A during the 80s. So big up to Diego Maradona.
But let's not overlook that 1990 World Cup performance though, because
yes, when they went to the final against Germany, and he had an injured ankle.
Tiefling Muller and Tiefling Klinsmann. Don't forget it. But I am a Brazilian fan, and I will never forget that game when Argentina beat Carica and Brazil 1-0 when Maradona let through Canija. I never ever forget that play.
Yeah, so big up to Diego Maradona. He celebrated his 60th birthday on October 30th. Pele celebrated his 80-something birthday on October 23rd. Diego Maradona is in the hospital recovering from a surgery. Wish you the best, the legend. Football family, as we head home and wrap up our show, you want to connect with us on social media. We're on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ball Chat 1. And on Facebook at Ball Chat. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Big up to Cadiz Fishley for giving us a women's football report. Big up to the family watching us on Periscope. Come on, and Junior, I hate that, we're gone and we are,
Later.
Bye.
Bless up,